So far in this series of videos, we have mostly been running our programs in the PCRSC visualizer. This has allowed us to view the values in memory as the program is executing. But we won't always have PCRSC available, and it has some limitations. For example, it won't allow us to use C statements that take input from the user while the program is running. In this video, we will demonstrate how to compile and run your programs from the Unix command line. Before we run the compiler, it is helpful to know a little about how the command line works. The shell, or command line, has the notion of a current working directory. You can use the cd command to change to the directory or folder that contains your source code file. The ls command will list the contents of the current working directory. When I run ls in this directory, you can see that there is only one file in the current working directory, hello.c. The name of the C compiler we will use is GCC. To compile hello.c on the command line, we type gcc hello.c. Hello.c is information that we are providing to GC to tell it the name of the file that contains our source program. This extra information is called an argument. So this line tells GCC to read the hello.c source file and produce an executable file that we can run. Let's execute this command by pressing enter. Now when I run ls again, I see two files, a.out and hello.c. Unless I provide other arguments to GCC, the executable file that is produced by GCC will be saved to a file called a.out. I can run a.out by typing a.out. Depending on how the shell is configured, I might have to type /a.out to tell the shell that a.out is in my current working directory. When we run a.out, we see the output of the program. One question you might ask is, how do we know that a.out is an executable file? One way to know this is to use the -f option for ls to print an extra character for different types of files. A.out has an asterisk at the end, which indicates that it is an executable file. Another way to find out is to use the -l option for ls to see the permissions on the file. The set of characters at the beginning of each line tells us what permissions are set for the file. The X's in the permissions for a.out means that everyone has execute permission for this file. Notice that there's no X in the hello.c permissions because it is not a file that can be executed. There are two options for GCC that I'd like to show you. First, the -w all option will print out additional warning messages. It is strongly recommended that you always compile with -w all and that you fix the problems that -w all reports. They usually indicate issues that will lead to problems later if they are not fixed. The second option that you will find useful is the -o option, which allows you to specify the name of the executable file where GCC will save its output. For example, we can run gcc -w all -o hello hello.c. And instead of putting the output into a.out, it will put it in an executable file called hello. Now when we run hello, we see the output of the hello.c program.